tell you, we did tell you earlier that you shouldn't always be advertising, right? But you always have to remember to always be selling. Because every single interaction with any person, online or offline, someone is selling and someone is buying.
If you're indeed serious about starting and building and maintaining a business in 2017, you've got to wrap your mind around the idea that you've got to wrap digital around you. And it's got to be part of your DNA. It has to be. Your question is unanswerable, right? Because I don't know how much time and effort you're willing to put into your business. I do know that digital marketing has got to be part of the DNA of your business. You've got to do it. Now, if you can only begin by doing one thing on Facebook a week, that's the way you begin. Okay? If you can only produce one blog post a week, okay, that's where you begin. As you learn to adapt and get into the flow of what this very powerful, I don't want to call it a tool because it's more than that, very powerful force becomes the way you build your business today. It's the way you brand yourself. It's the way you talk to your customers. It's about how many of them you can convince to enter your story as you enter theirs. So the question's unanswerable. I will tell you, the more you're able to do it, the faster your business is going to grow. Okay? And the way we build our businesses and the way we brand our businesses and the way we tell our stories is all online now. All right? You can't afford an ad in the New York Times. Even if you could, I'd break your legs before I let you spend the money on it. Okay? You can't afford a major TV advertising. You're not going to buy a Super Bowl ad. I don't think there's anybody in this room going to buy a Super Bowl ad. Okay? But we can do a YouTube video for free. Keyword research is the backbone of digital marketing. There's been some talk about 2 years ago, Google started reporting exact keywords in Google Analytics so that you could no longer determine exactly what keyword people use to get to your site. There's a whole lot of discussion about why they did that. But some people got the impression that Google was therefore de-emphasizing keywords. And I postulate that that could be further from the truth. Because it's keywords and keyword phrases that we use to query, and it's keywords and keyword phrases that Google uses to display advertising that's in context with what's going on there. And as long as that persists, there's going to be keyword research. That's all there is to it, and the importance of the use of keywords. That's why I think it's so important for you to use this advanced search so that you start to understand how Google is thinking. For instance, one of the fields down below here was time. You know, I don't want to say anything that wasn't published within the last 12 months. Google uses time as one of its ranking factors. If you and I both write an article of the same quality on the same topic, and you wrote yours last year and I wrote mine last week, mine's going to appear above yours. That's why it's so important to keep in your mind the concept that new, fresh content is what Google loves to eat up. They love sites that are constantly publishing new information, right? Because they deem that more useful to the customer than just putting up a site that has static information and never gets updated, because they know that that will be boring to users.
If you wrote an article a year ago,
Yeah.
but it's amazingly popular, every day thousands of people are going to read it,
Yeah.
does that still rank lower than
Not
the article
necessarily.
that's less popular but is new?
Not necessarily.
Uh,
All other things being equal, the newer article will appear before the lower article, or the older article. But if that article is getting tremendous traffic and low bounce rates, okay? Bounce rate, by the way, is when somebody lands on your site and immediately clicks the back button and goes away. They literally bounce away. All right, there are long bounces and short bounces that Google is counting. A long bounce may mean that someone came and just read that page, but they stayed on that page and read it, okay, before they clicked the back button to go back to the search results. A short bounce will kill you. Long bounce is good. It indicates Google that the content is popular. And if it's getting lots of activity, it's going to stay at the top because Google wants to give us what we want. If we're happy with something, it's not broken, they're not going to fix it. So what is a keyword? A keyword can be any word that describes your business or your product.
If you wrote an article a year ago,
Yeah.
but it's amazingly popular, every day thousands of people are going to read it,
Yeah.
does that still rank lower than
Not
the article
necessarily.
that's less popular but is new?
Not necessarily. All other things being equal, the newer article will appear before the lower article, or the older article. But if that article is getting tremendous traffic and low bounce rates, okay? Bounce rate, by the way, is when somebody lands on your site and immediately clicks the back button and goes away. They literally bounce away. All right, there are long bounces and short bounces that Google is counting. A long bounce may mean that someone came and just read that page, but they stayed on that page and read it, okay, before they clicked the back button to go back to the search results. A short bounce will kill you. Long bounce is good. It indicates Google that the content is popular. And if it's getting lots of activity, it's going to stay at the top because Google wants to give us what we want. If we're happy with something, it's not broken, they're not going to fix it. Width. What do we have? We have a long tail keyword phrase that describes a particular product and someone who is a much better sales prospect because they know exactly what they're looking for. Everybody follow that? So it's discovering these long tail keyword phrases. Keyword root, internet marketing or internet marketing facts or information on internet marketing tutorial videos or internet marketing instructional video, whatever it may be. But if I am ranked for the word instructional video, internet marketing instructional video, okay, and I'm right there, I know I've got somebody who's interested in learning from me about, internet marketing.
This keyword research is for organic SEO, ranking without any paid distribution. The kind of thinking that you want to have for Google AdWords is similar, but then you have to start thinking in the context of how much money am I going to spend monthly, quarterly, and how am I going to, how much I am going to invest, and how are you going to decide the priority for that? Because the priority for that is different from content production. Content production takes time, and that's going to be some kind of other thinking that you're going to have. Going back to your question, one easy way to continue your keyword research is repurposing old content, using the old keywords that you focused on. If there's any things that are prominent that you think can be part of your semantic core, using them as root keywords to see if there's other related phrases, maybe 3-4 words that you can use in future content. So repurposing old content that you already have for future content by using themes, quote unquote, where you see for me, for example, if I wanted to do keyword research for new topics related to what I'm already talking about, in my semantic core, I have job hunting, career advice, personal branding, LinkedIn, and college students. Those are the only 5 I use. But let's say I wanted to focus more on LinkedIn. I put LinkedIn advice or LinkedIn marketing or anything focused around that keyword into one of the tools that we're going to show you, and I'll get a list of other things that I can use in the future. It's great not only for thinking about content ideas, but thinking of ways to repurpose old content and adding those keywords into there. So step 4, incorporating your top 50 keywords into your editorial calendar. You can do this by having your iCalendar set to a specific color, because on iCalendar you can have different schedules, and have one specifically for content creation. And say on Monday, I'm going to write about personal branding. On Thursday, I'm going to write about college tips, how to get into a club, for example. And you can also use a tool called Trello. And we're going to show you Trello near the end, where it's like a task board where you can put to-dos And for one day, you're going to do keyword research on job hunting. And then the following week, you're going to write about it. So different things like that. You want to make it so that you're rotating constantly. You're not just focusing on one keyword, but you're focusing on a mix so that you're ranking for different queries. And if you can always be ahead of their questions, their queries, by constantly getting new content out there that you're anticipating their needs, basically.
So would you put those new key phrases in your blog?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to really take a step back and say, okay, one, am I committed to a content marketing effort, to a web marketing effort? And if you determine that you are, then you're going to have to reorient your thinking and put in the time that it takes to do it effectively.
Okay, can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead. I mean, you're going to anyway.
Because, yes, I'm committed to that. Yes, I'm committed to writing a business plan. Yes, I'm committed. You're talking about a lot of commitments, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with commitments. What I have is, then the gentleman that was back there, he said, take one thing, which I thought was pretty profound, and stay with that and master that and then go on to the next.
Correct.
But in the meantime, I'm pedaling to get all these commitments in place, and then I'm having a
You don't have to do it.
I know that, but I want to.
Well, you need to.
Yeah, there's that
You
too.
need to. You want to be in business? You need to. So you're going to have to find a way to manage your time to accommodate the things you need to do. But it's like an accordion, okay? You can start small and slow until you get yourself up to speed in this stuff. Okay?
Maybe we should do a time management seminar.
Well, we're very much talking about...
Who?
I can help you.
We're talking
Perfect.
about time management when we talk about using these tools.
Yeah.
Too, okay? Imagine if you didn't have keyword tools to use and you had to do this manually. It'd take you forever. You couldn't do it.
The accordion that we're showing you these weeks is only marketing. We're not talking about hiring people, right? We're not talking about managing. Yeah, it's running a business takes multiple commitments, and this is just me personally thinking, you don't need to do it alone, right? So what we're showing you is a system that you can adopt, but you don't necessarily need to do it. You can learn it so that when you're hiring someone to do the marketing for you and you can talk to the customers and you can hire your teammates, that person's doing that job and you don't need to worry about it. Forward, step 5, tracking your keywords. You can do that with SEMrush, making sure that you know for each keyword where you're ranking for your domain. You put your domain into domain analytics, and within there, and we're going to show you this, the top organic keywords that you're ranking for. Free tool, if you don't want to pay for SEMrush, you can use searchengine.com/Google Rank Checker. This is free because it's cumbersome. You have to put in your domain for each keyword. You can't do a whole list of keywords to find out where you're ranking for each. You're going to have to put in the keyword that you want one at a time. So what I recommend doing is just scheduling a 30-minute block of your day when you're just going to check, where am I ranking for my top 25 keywords, for example. A year, 1 month, and 4 days before I ranked for anything.
On his personal.
On my personal website. Didn't rank at all.
You know what you're doing. Oh,
And
gosh.
I just faithfully followed the tactics.
No, Kenny didn't know what.
And I didn't know what I was doing at all.
All right, but he
And yet you're
learned.
teaching the
And he
class.
learned.
And I learned over time. Yeah, put it in perspective. I'm teaching the class. I didn't know how to do any of this, right? And and the only way I learned it is by doing. A lot of missteps, a lot of pages I had to go back and fix. A lot of websites that were ranking my, that were taking backlinks from my site and putting them in porn sites, and I had to figure out how do I tackle that. Like, so many problems that you go, right? And this is not even me trying to sell anything. This is just my personal brand online. It's not a business. It's just something where you're gonna have to tackle this.
What's your website?
KennySoto.com. Cool. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
S-O-T-O.
And then after you do all those steps, and we're gonna show them to you live, you repeat the process regularly. It can be monthly. You don't have the time to do it monthly, quarterly. You don't have the time to do it quarterly, I hope you do it at least twice a year.
what you brought up is what I hear all the time. I haven't got time for this thing, you know, I haven't got time. I don't really do this thing. You have to make a decision about whether you want to be a marketer in, you know, 21st century, the second decade of the 21st century. And if you do, this is what you've got to do. None of this is mandatory. You don't have to do it. But if you want to succeed today, you better be doing it. So I took Kenny, I met Kenny 2.5 years ago.
3 years.
Became a volunteer at SCORE, an intern. And what did I say?
2.5, but it's been 3. Time flies. Time flies.
And he joined SCORE as
Intern.
as an intern because you know, when I met him, I said he was a music major. I said, Kenny, what do you want to do? He says, I'm thinking I'd like to start a recording studio. And I said, Kenny, how are you going to market that? He says, I don't know. And I grabbed him by this. And I said, come here, Kenny. And he has learned this stuff magnificently. It's taken him 2 years, okay, to get him to where he is today. It may take you 2 years to get to where he is, okay?
Or 4 months.
Or 4 months, or however much
Yeah.
effort and time and moxie you put into it. But it's strictly a matter of putting one foot in front of the other,
Amen.
taking a walk and doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And the more you put into it, the more successful your business is going to be. Yep. It's quite as simple as that.